Okay, here's a quick demo on how to look at an object and draw what you are seeing instead of what you know or what you think you know. And it's a very basic skill that once a young artist can master this, they can be successful in all aspects of art. So it's really one of the very first things that a young artist should learn. It's how to really look at what they do. So for example, if we are going to draw an eye, what I see a lot is something like this. Well, it's kind of an eye shaped, and they do something like this. And yeah, it's an eye in some form. But the key here is to actually look at your picture. And I'm gonna blow this up a little bit so that you can see it. And instead of looking at the whole eye and just trying to draw this shape, I'm gonna focus on simply one line. So it's just gonna be that top line right there. That's all I see, that's all I wanna draw. Now that I have that, I can focus on the bottom line. It kind of tucks in right there. I can see that there's kind of, I'm just gonna focus on this a little bit right now. So right off the bat, you can see there's quite a difference in the shape. And the next thing where people often, go wrong is, I wonder if I can, they will draw the iris and the pupil floating in the middle. And if you look at your source image, it's actually not. It's a little bit more towards the left side here, towards the nose. It's not necessarily touching the bottom, and it's definitely hidden under the top of, there's a bit of an eyelid here, and it's hidden under this little bit of an eyelid. Now inside of that, inside this iris is the pupil, and I've drawn it a little too big. It's okay. I gotta look carefully. It's really hard to see. My picture is actually pretty dark. It's hard to see. Hopefully, whatever you're drawing, you can get a better picture, or look at the actual object. I'm not lucky enough to have a model here. One thing I'm gonna put in right away is I'm gonna put in a highlight, and I can't really see it too well, but it's there in my source image. And then the next thing I do is I'm gonna take a really dark pencil, and this is for contrast. I'm going to make the darkest area, so in this case, it's the pupil. I'm gonna make it as dark as I can make it, black. And then once I have that, I don't have to worry about any of that boring gray. I have my black and I have my white established, and they're right beside each other. So I've already accomplished high contrast, which is one of the main success criteria in everything we do in art. Okay, and while I have this darker pencil, I am going to just darken up a few lines that I kind of like here. Sometimes there's a little bit of a shadow I can see right in there. I'm gonna darken up this eyelid a little bit. And then I'm gonna take this contour line here and I'm gonna fade it away because there isn't an actual outline there. What you have instead is a fade from dark to light. And then I could see there's all these little, almost look like little lines. Not really lines, they're kind of squiggly, and they're all going right to a central point there. So I'll kind of draw those in. So this would be the colored portion of the eye. And then one area where people really make errors is the eyelashes, obviously. And so think less is more. So you're gonna start in, you're gonna make like almost like little check marks. I'm not gonna draw every one that I see. I'm gonna draw a few, and I'll do a couple at the bottom here. And think of the purpose of these is that they are to remove dirt and stuff from the eye. And so they kind of curve away. Each one has a little bit of a curve to it. Okay, so I'll draw those in there. I'm gonna add a little bit of shade. There is a tear duct I can see in here, a little kind of pinkish tear duct. I'm gonna darken up that bottom. So now I've drawn what I've seen. It's not perfectly realistic, but it's anatomically correct. So it doesn't look like, you know, a kindergarten drawing where we're just drawing what we know. We're actually looking and drawing what we see. And that is why this is going to look better. Now, this by itself is not that interesting. What I would do is go back and add in some color here, maybe just for some visual interest. So I'm going to take blue. I'm going to make this person have blue eyes. And so I'll start with this, what is this? A dark blue Crayola. And again, I'm following the direction that I see on my source image of the eye and making all these things go in. And I'm gonna make the darkest part, it looks like. Now my source image has a really dark brown, but I thought blue might look more interesting, add a little bit of contrast here. And then the other thing to do is we never use a single pencil crayon. So I've actually got a light blue here as well. So light blue goes over top, really nice. And watch what that happens. So all of a sudden, by adding one part color here, this eye becomes far more interesting. All right, I'll hold that up there so you can see the finished product. And so the key is that you have a source image, you're looking at it, you're not trying to go fast. And if you follow those main steps and really look at one single part at a time, I'm only looking at the top line of the eye. I'm only looking at the direction of the eyelashes over here. I'm only looking at that single reflection in the pupil. I'm not trying to draw everything as quick as I can to get it done. And then someone will think it kind of looks like an eye. No, really, really look at what you're drawing, and then you will have success drawing it.